There are 3 different types of biscuits in a tin: chocolate, wafer and plain. Cal's going to take 2 biscuits at random, work out the probability that she takes 2 different types of biscuits. Some students will not need to draw a tree diagram for this, but everybody else, I expect to see a tree diagram when you're not sure about the combinations of things you're going to use. Okay, so I really expect to see a tree diagram. People who are good at tree diagrams never get these questions wrong. People who are not sure the other rules, how to do them without it, get them more often. Okay, so tree diagrams are expected from me. So it's all about thinking about what she's going to do. She's going to pick biscuits out one at a time and eat them. So it's going to go down. The probability is going to change. So we have to use that and fill out a diagram properly. So let's say she picks, and because it's 3 options, I'm really going to try and spread this diagram out. So the first one's going to look a little bit weird with me spreading the diagram out like that. She's got 3 options: chocolate, wafer and plain. And at the beginning it's nice and straightforward. There's 5 chocolate, 3 wafer and 2 plain, and they are out of 10 because there's 10 biscuits in total. And now you have to start thinking about completing this diagram. So you've got to basically ignore bits of the diagram. Okay, so I'm going to use one of these to cover it up. And let's pretend she's picked a chocolate one to begin with, chocolate biscuit. She's going to eat it. So the chocolate biscuit is going to go down by 1. So the chocolate biscuit, which is here, is going to be 4. And it was out of 10 biscuits, but you've ate one, so I've got that. The wafer is still going to be 3 and 2 from the beginning of the question. And you can see there they are. But they're all out of 9. And all the way down this diagram, this part here, it will all be out of 9. Okay, this number will be the same all the way down. People make the mistake of making the next one 8s, and sometimes they make this one 7. And it's just because they don't understand how to do it properly. So that's that option explored. Okay, you don't do any more. You look at the option when she's about to get the first one, and you look at the option when she's about to get the second one, not after. So now we're going to pretend. Oh, what else I've got to cover this up. Now we're going to pretend that we're only picking out the wafer now. So we're going to ignore what we did the first time, just focus on picking out a wafer. So if we pick out a wafer now, so chocolate, wafer and plain, the wafer was out of 3, but now it's going to be out of 2 because you've had 1, and it's out of 9 because there was 10, but now there's 9, and it should be the same numbers up here on the base. Chocolate and plain this time don't change, so 5 out of 9, 2 out of 9, and that's that bit done. And the last one is if you pick a plain biscuit out first. I don't know why I like putting arrows on these. I don't know why I didn't do it. So chocolate, wafer and plain. We're now picking a plain biscuit out, and again you ignore everything else. You ignore that part of the diagram completely and pretend you pick a plain out. So if I pick a plain out, there was 2, there's now 1 out of 9. The wafer and the chocolate stay as they were, as 3 and 5, but they're out of 9. And now this is where you're going to gain marks without even answering the question. Okay, so we've probably got 1 or 2 marks there. We're now going to get another 1 or 2 marks from doing the next bit. So we're going to multiply everything out. Okay, we could save ourselves the hassle, okay, and not multiply everything out. So if I wanted to, it says 2 different types of biscuits. So that would be this. I could have a chocolate with a wafer and a plain, a wafer and a chocolate and a plain with a chocolate and a wafer. So there are 6 options that work. So I could just do those 6 options. But I just want you to get into the habit of doing everything. So what I mean is, when we work this way on the diagram, we're multiplying the fraction. So I want to see that happening. So this one, I'm going to chocolate. So chocolate and chocolate is going to be 5 out of 10 times by 4 out of 9. Chocolate and a wafer is going to be 5 out of 10 times by 3 out of 9. A chocolate and a plain biscuit is going to be 5 out of 10 times by 2 out of 9. Right, a wafer and a chocolate is going to be 3 out of 10 times by 5 out of 9. A wafer and a wafer is going to be 3 out of 10 times by 2 out of 9. A wafer and a plain is going to be 3 out of 10 times by 2 out of 9. There we go. And then come down here, plain and a chocolate is going to be 2 out of 10 times by 5 out of 9. Plain and a wafer is going to be 2 out of 10 times by 3 out of 9. And then a plain and a plain is going to be 2 out of 10 times by 1 out of 9. Okay, so tops times tops, bottoms times bottoms. Tree diagrams you don't have to simplify, which is good. So I can just write these out as I get them. You can see they're all out of 90. And the reason I like doing this is I can check if I've done the right thing, because in the end, all the tops will add up to 90. So if I'm really not confident, I can just check that all the numerators are adding up to 90 or not. Okay, so there are all the possible probabilities, all the possible outcomes that I can get from here. And it is saying, what's the probability that you do 2 different types of biscuits? Now, this diagram is a flow chart for you to follow to pick what you want. If there's more than one option, I'm going to add those together. So we have different ones. We've got that, because you've got chocolate and a wafer. We've got chocolate and a plain. We've got wafer and a chocolate. Wafer and a plain. You can see because I've labelled it, I can pick them off dead easily. A plain and a chocolate and a plain and a wafer. So I've got these options that work. Okay, so I'm going to add those options together. So you can see that here. So 15 out of 90, add 10 out of 90, add 15 out of 90, add 6 out of 90, add 10 out of 90, add 6 out of 90. Oh, I should have planned my space better than this. When the base is the same, it stays the same, so it's out of 90, and then we're going to add them up. So 15, 25, 40, 46, 56, 62. He hopes. So 62 out of 90, and I'm not simplifying because I don't have to. There we go. I'm just double checking the solution. I looked at it. I'm hoping it's right, because if it's not, I'm just going to do it again. Oh, I got it right. Okay, but if I show you the work solution, I'm going to just scroll up so you can see what I've been looking at. If I show the work solution, they have not drawn a diagram. They have literally chosen the options that do not work, so the probability of getting the same flavour twice. They've worked them out by multiplying, and then they've taken it away from one. Okay, so that's how they've done it. That way is good if you know the laws. If you don't know the laws, this is the way that you want to go about it. Okay, because all different, there's loads of different types of problems that come up, and that's going to help you there. Okay.